bed in Conversation Castle.
Eric, how'd you feel about session? Questions, comments, concerns?
It was fine. I wish I did more. I'm just kind of depressed by the party comment. Sorry, I'll try to be more active then. Bye.
You're fine. We'll talk about it next time.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't see a problem.
The party doesn't know how to crowd control or resource manage.
It is true.
Anyway.
It is very true.
Who needs to go to bed next besides myself? I would assume B, because B probably also works in the morning.
Yep.
B, how'd you feel about session?
Pretty good. I liked it. I enjoyed the suffering. It was worth it. I did stuff regardless.
I nearly died multiple times.
I did very cool situations.
Yeah,
I managed to actually get deception to work for once.
I had
It's
some
good.
conversation, actually. That bit with the fireball. Fucking epic.
Yeah.
With the stabbing him while he was casting fireball?
Yes.
Yep.
Though, to be fair, later it's like, oh, so you kind of wanted this. I mean, you know what? It's a favor. It turns from wanting to murder you for real into, you know what? I did you a favor.
We can find.
You're
something.
welcome for the I killed you and freed you from the illithid. I'm sorry on the we didn't realize that you were illithid controlled until you passed the revivify, but I guess you probably have a phylactery, so
So...
Wait, you're a necromancer, not a lich.
We can find.
Fucking rip. Fucking rip, Lamau.
So, okay, I'm not sure if you're going to ever come across it, but I think it was Vriska who called it immediately.
Yeah, no, she did. She did.
The whole, like, oh, they left a diamond with you because they want you to kill them and then revive them. And I'm like, bingo! And then, the whole, like, he went specifically over to you and was doing his best to make it as believable as possible because there's a fucking creature inside of his brain that if he didn't do what he was told, he would be fucking killed on the spot.
Yeah.
And
we need to get someone who can resurrect him, I think.
But, that's why I said
Demir didn't remind anyone because she genuinely wanted him dead for that comment about bad party member.
Yeah, and he was correct.
I knew that's what. It's like I knew that's what.
Guess what? You're dead. So who cares what you think, dumbass?
I mean, he's a pain
like
in the
I knew
ass,
I
but...
knew that's what the intention of the diamond was, and that he genuinely had to pretend like he didn't know about leaving the diamond and shit like that. It's like it's very obvious we're supposed to kill him and bring him back, or he's supposed to die and we bring him back, but time did not allow for it.
Time definitely allowed for it, but I asked a couple of times, like, so Nicholas is analyzing the sigil in the middle of the room, right? that whole, so you're fucking this up on purpose, correct?
I had no clue on the thing until afterwards, so...
Yeah, it very much was like, if he dies and gets his brain eaten, then his body is incomplete and the revivify can't take effect. If he dies, creature crawls out of him, then, you know, you kill the creature, revivify him, his brain's still intact, but Demir would have fucked up his face and body because horse Angie.
Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have fucking dissed me. Now you're perma-dead. Kiss my ass.
He's not permadead.
Well,
We have to bring him to somebody who can do a actual resurrection.
Well, for the sake of our current quest, he's perma-dead.
Yep. It very much was a... If the party, you know, managed to piece it together, they would have gotten a powerful ally for the quest ahead. And instead, he was shot multiple times and left dead on the ground while you looked at something else for a while. So, congratulations on fucking that one up that you had the answer to and actively knew.
Okay, Steve, again, I don't think you realize Demir wanted this.
Of course Demir wanted it.
I'm
just like,
gonna say,
no, what a huge mistake. I killed the guy I wanted to kill for bullshit for shit-talking me. I'm so fucked.
Yep, it is that whole, I will actively handicap myself because I don't like this person anymore. And let me tell you, if he ever comes back, he is going to say that exact comment again to Zach.
I think the
then
one
just
issue I
finish
could actually
your
point out
face.
is that when we were checking the robes to like get insight on it, that happened after we waited for Nick to do the identify. But we were trying to loot and check out his stuff prior to that, and then it was brought up, and then it got stuck on Nick for like the whole
Well-
thing. So an opportunity to actually check out the body prior to Nick
I would
just
plus-
the
Well, plus if
identifying
everybody
was
is
gone.
saying, "Hey, check out the circle. Hey, check out the
Yeah.
circle." Eric is
I was
just
hoping to
going to
have
go
that,
with
like-
whatever you guys tell him.
I was hoping
He's
to have
not
that be
going to
like,
do
all
things
right, that's
on his
gonna
own.
take like 10 minutes. So in the meantime, for that, we can just loot the body.
So the thing is, so the whole this diamond is forecasting revivify on him, and he
And we
wants to be
all knew this from the
revived.
get-go.
Everyone knew that, and then Zach was the first one to be like, "Nick, look at this circle."
And Eric is going to follow orders. That's who he is as a human
You know,
being in real life.
I'm starting
And so
to
you guys telling him, do this, I want to know this thing, he's going to do that. He's not going to be thinking about the other stuff because whatever the party is telling him to do, he's going to do that thing. Because
Well-
that's just how Eric is as a person.
I'm also starting to think that some of the people in this group are just fucking dense.
Like you?
You mean you're dense?
No, I caught on to it. I thought they
Yes,
were
you did.
gonna
Oh, dude,
revivify
we
him.
all knew.
Hey,
We
pro
all
tip:
knew.
if you figure something out and someone else isn't doing the thing, you could like bring it up instead of afterwards being the whole. Well, I always knew it, but I never said anything, and then
Okay,
it's
I
like,
was halfway across.
why the
Yeah.
fuck didn't you say it? You
The only
could
reason
like barge
the only
in at any
reason-
time and just
Yeah,
be
which-
like, oh well, I always knew it, and it's like,
Which the reason
cool,
I
you did
didn't say
nothing.
the reason I didn't say anything is because it would be metagaming if I said something because Dante doesn't know anything about fucking magic. He doesn't know
Mhm.
shit. So it doesn't make sense for me to say anything.
Mhm.
It would be out of character me being like, dude, you have the fucking diamond, do the thing. Like
The only people who knew were Demare, who wanted the Necromancer dead, Nicholas, who was told to do something else, and Sandra because Hunter metagames. So
I didn't say it out loud.
yeah, and so it very much was like this is an optional thing. Like you know,
I was
You
hoping we
can-
were going to do it, and I don't
Yeah.
mind carrying his body to have him as a person for later because I can just carry his fucking body wherever we want to take him.
mhm.
I'm a
So-
big strong boy.
I think the next threshold is it either a week or a year, but it goes from like 300 gold pieces to like 5,000 or something. So
Yeah, but we have money.
It's
We're
1,000.
Yeah.
fucking we have all that money cashed away because of being, leaders and shit. So we have the money.
There's like 8
So, yeah.
spells here for reviving a person.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, once again, it was one of those, like, optional things of, if you do this, then you have a powerful ally. If you don't do this, then you're just gonna keep going as is, NBD. So, yeah, it like, you guys can easily beat the rest of this quest probably without anyone dying, because you guys, while you were super worried about being close to death, no, you were fine. Like, unless I threw that extra fireball, then you would have, like, the worst thing that the party did was not,
Kill the archers.
yeah, not crowd control properly.
That was the thing that I was salty about because I was doing my job. I cannot do ranged anything. I have to leave that to you guys. So
It
I
was
did my
up to-
job in beating the ever-loving shit out of that fucking dog.
Yep.
I will admit,
And
I
being
did
the focus.
prioritize the Necromancer, like, after a round that he showed up, and I'm like, spellcaster potentially controlling all these guys, I might take them out all in one fell swoop, or take the guy out who can cast Fireball. So I'm gonna change targets.
Yeah,
And I
going
checked
after the
the
caster, going after the caster, well, like 90% of the time, the absolute best idea, which I absolutely don't blame you for targeting him. In this case, if you if you would have continued interacting and continued successfully inciting, you would have picked up on the fact that they don't want to fight and they're trying to put on this show. And, like, they needed to do the amount that they needed to do to be believable, but they were doing their goddamn bare minimum. And, so it very much was, if you picked up on that, then you would know, okay, you don't need to target him. But if you don't pick up on that and don't, interact with him, then yeah, absolutely, fucking target the caster. Dear God, he had 5th level spells. I had some of them pulled up.
Big scary.
Yeah, he doesn't need to fuck around. So if he wanted you dead, you would be dead. So he decided to come out right away and let you fucking do your biz because he saw you were struggling and it's like, all right, let's if there's like someone who surrounded a bunch of enemies, he would have fireballed his own people to eke things in your favor. But it very much the fact that the archers and the minor mobs were the last ones targeted, that is a problem. You were stuck behind cover and being crowd controlled instead of target, sharpshooter, dead. Armor class of 12, there's no reason you shouldn't have been pegging one of them down each round. Minimum.
TBH, what I was kind of thinking was, okay, I'm with the group. Oh god, there is a monster right here in front of me.
The thing is that the wolf beast, just let Dante deal with it. He is a tank.
My
Yeah, that
job
didn't
is
really
to
sink
tank
in
and
until
have
I
near-death
started thinking about
experiences.
things, and I'm like, okay, Nicholas, Sandra, Dante, all there, they can handle it.
Yep. And there were...
Which Hunter,
Probably my
remember,
first
you are
time properly
range.
fighting
Focus
with
on
the team,
range.
so give me a
I
break.
got caught up with a lot of shit. I had skeletons to deal with. I had a dead person next to me.
Mhm.
There was
Yeah,
a
there
lot going on.
There were 4 people hiding in a corner.
Just gonna say, I'm not gonna lie though,
I had
Hunter.
some
You
narrow
wasted
escapes there,
So
actually.
you wasted so many rounds of that combat. You wasted some of them on stupid shit that didn't make a difference. You gotta really prioritize.
I hit that wolf pretty hard.
Wow, cool.
That was
You
also
hit the
kind of-
sack of
Guess
hit
who
points.
did the vast majority of the fucking damage?
They-
And took the vast majority.
I'll also admit the fact that I got a perfect sneak attack crit at first and did massive amounts of damage may have tunnel visioned me a little bit.
So, okay, the thing is, it was on round 3, it activated its phase 2 and became more powerful. And, that wasn't supposed to, be... When it starts, AoE splashing everyone and being fucking crazy, that was supposed to be once you took care of all of the danger that is keeping you in cover. Once again, Hunter, sure you shot it a couple of times? You did not sharpshooter a single fucking time. Those 11 and 12 AC archers and ballista users on the platform, that was for you, Demare, and Zach. You have the range capability.
Well-
Even just throwing your NPCs at it. You can take care of those in 2-3 rounds, tops. If all of you just focus fire, use sharpshooter, plus 10 damage. You have the 2 bow shots from just Sandra.
Well, I think...
That's 20 damage. That's an insta-kill.
When the ballista kept trying to hit me, thank God I was okay.
Can I
and
get in
didn't
some-
get hit by the ballista.
Can I get in some conversation?
Yeah,
go
but you
for
have
it.
to let us lay
I
into you
think part of the
first.
problem was that wolf immediately charges the group, and my brain is just oh, that's really close. We should probably deal with that. And it's all
Yeah, and then you walk
was
it
being
closer to
dealt
it.
with. You should still recognize what your place is within the party dynamic. My place, getting my shit kicked in and kicking in something else's shit that's in my face. I was taking care of that. Its full focus was on me and me alone, and Stella, obviously. Its focus was contained, while all those archers were all focused on murder. On all of us.
I was genuinely afraid of the beast potentially like picking off the weakest of us first, which is why I was like, kill that first. I am too close, too close.
Mhm.
I knew it was going to take a long time, so I knew those archers needed to be taken care of, but it's just like, if nobody's gonna fucking attack them, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep doing my job and say, fuck it, they can do what they want.
Like, have you ever played an MMO? Like,
No, not with other people.
yeah,
It's kind of like you do your job and then you focus on doing that job regardless of everything else going on.
like Final Fantasy XIV, the tank tanks, the healer keeps everyone alive. The DPS, depending on what type of DPS you are, if you are a magic DPS who has a lot of AoEs and crowd control, you AoE and crowd control.
Also worth noting, Shane, you can just like shout at the party members, "Stop fucking helping me!" Maybe I'm too tired, but I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I didn't say anything because I was just like, fuck it, whatever. I didn't really care.
Yeah,
I just kind of was like, I'm gonna
not
let
all of
them
us are
figure.
hunters, Shane.
It was kind of like I'm gonna let everybody else figure this out the hard way and just like let them have
Well,
fun.
if you want us to figure it out the hard way, don't complain.
So that was kind
thing
of
is, you'd think you would have realized it. Is the thing? It was trying
I'm
to see.
autistic.
Would
I
you
don't
guys?
pick up on shit.
No, not you
yeah.
specifically. Mainly the rest of the party is more than capable and have played games where they would realize, the archers keep shooting us, and I am a ranged character. Like I'm waiting for that 2 and 2 to go together, but it's not. But I'm like, you know what? Whatever.
Another consideration that popped in my head was like, okay, they're bad at rolls, they're bad at hits. Trying to shoot them, potentially missing. Maybe they have above average hit points. But then there's the thing that does like 30 per swipe. That's prioritizing in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Like, I understand for you. Hunter definitely should have known better. And that's what I am salty about, Hunter.
Okay, I
You
wanted
need
to
focus
prioritize
in.
the big thing.
That's not what you do when you're the fucking archer. You focus on getting the things that are the other threats. Yes, big thing is good to focus on, but you are also crowd control. You hit the things that are really, really far away, that are on a raised fucking platform that we can't fucking get to.
Yeah, I was gonna do that, and then skeletons came up behind me.
Well, guess what? You handled them, and then what did you do? Not handle the archers.
I didn't handle them, actually. They're still alive.
Yeah, they went to Nert. The actual big bad is just like, wow, they are not doing well. Let's just like have them stop. And then they did.
I was surrounded, okay?
Yeah, and the big bad took pity on you because all of you were hiding in the corner, and that's why he floated over to Zach and made a snarky comment of like, hey, you know, there's a major problem here that needs to be assessed. And just a meta way of being like, the party, as a party, as you know, player characters, they need to, in-game, have a talk to each other and get this sorted out, because there are major problems in combat. And then they died for that comment.
To be fair, Demare is very self-centered, and she thought it was like, oh, so my plan failed, so I'm a bad party member, huh?
Yeah, I think actually Demare was not going to be within that fireball range, is the
no,
funniest
not at all.
part.
She was literally, like, I kind of realized, oh, he's probably going to throw it at, like, the group of our friends while Demare's in the middle, far, far away from that, and not get hit at all. But she got the snark damage AoE.
But yeah, it very much like... so, going through this dungeon the first time, there was that major problem of you aren't conserving your resources. You think you can rest in a dungeon where I didn't even use the blood elementals. Like, if you would have tried resting in the blood room, which you, like, got mad at me for, I was skipping the forced encounter I cut the bullshit, and I'm like, it's not going to go well. If you would have been like, no, we are resting here and now, then the blood elementals would have shown up and started to kick your ass, and then you would be in a worse position. And I'm like, I'm going to take pity on these players who say they do not want to be punished for actions that are that bad. So I didn't attack you more, and I'm like, go to the boss fight. You're not going to be in a better position. You've wasted all of your resources, and in Grognardian games, if you're in that position, you die. If Octi was running this, zero mercy. You would have been fucking dead. All of you, pasted.
Yeah. All of us would have died.
But I actually care about characters, and want you to stay alive, and overcome hard battles.
That's why I could tell you were giving us some, like, easier time
Yeah,
when it
I
came to
didn't-
how you do some of it.
I actually didn't want to stop in the sewer. Just putting that out there. I didn't want to stop and rest because I knew shit was gonna happen. Like, you were hinting that very clearly.
Mm-hmm. Like, as much as it sucks to be the bad guy and be like, no, you can't do this, like, you're in the
Honestly, my
danger
only
zone.
problem with that was everyone else constantly saying, I want to rest, and then it's clear you don't want us to rest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, oh my god, you guys are taking up all the audio space, and I can't do anything because you keep going, hey, let's look
Mhm.
for a place to rest, look for a place to rest. And I'm like, I guess I'll just stand here while they look for a place to rest.
Mm-hmm. And I think I was trying to continuously, like, flick over to you and be like, yeah, to me.
This
And
happened.
I'm just, yeah, I'm gonna, no, I'm gonna,
Just,
yeah, no, honestly, I'd rather look like an idiot wasting all my resources when I didn't need them, rather than looking like an idiot who dies when they had burst. And it's like, I had 3 lucky things, but I didn't use them because I thought I didn't need them.
honestly, your luck that all 3 of them were well spent. As someone who has had luck on a number of characters, I have burned luck and it's just fucked me. Either, like, the result wasn't, like, my reroll was trash, so, like, I rolled lower or the same or something, or what I got from succeeding wasn't that good. Every single time, like, it went from a, like, natural 1 to a hit, and the hit was good, or you succeeded that save and took a minuscule amount of damage. Like, every single one, all 3 of them fucking nailed it. And I'm like, I fucking wish I could do that bullshit, but
I
no.
remember whenever the first thing, the trap came up, I thought, okay, we're starting the session. I don't want to get myself crippled because I'm hanging off of a thing, probably many feet in the air, could hurt my neck, could get exploded, could be a firecracker in a pie. I don't know. I'm not risking it.
Mm-hmm. I will absolutely say that if you would have rolled high enough, you would have gotten a bead from a necklace of fireball, just a singular one. Yeah, that's what it was.
I probably
Oh,
would have used that
absolutely.
on the Necromancer and then kill also all the guys.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I was there. Like, the whole, like, if you roll well enough, you get a treasure out of this. But you rolled a 13. I'm like, all
Well,
of
I
you.
can't die.
Yeah, like, okay, I'll state right now, like, I think Sandra's passive perception is either 20 or 21, so it's just like, I'd fucking, let's not even bother. Like, fuck it, you see the trap, there it is. Obvious enough. Fucking 20, like, you can see fucking everything.
I
But,
get it, but also I feel mildly frustrated sometimes when it's like Sandras are basically noticing person, and it's like, okay, I get why, and I can't exactly argue it, but it does kill my soul every time. When it's
Yeah.
just like, Sandra notices this, it's only Sandra. Every time it's Sandra.
I
I
mean, it
mean-
makes sense. Deer hear a twig from 3 miles away and lose their
Yeah,
shit.
just
But
straight
then,
up
the
illicit
80 mile
murder.
per hour giant truck, nope, stand still.
Sandra is unflinching and unnoticing as the Electro Wolf bears down on Dante.
Just damn, that's a big dog.
Fuck! Anyway,
Typical
Uh,
behavior.
so enough of that shenanigan fest. So, B, you did enjoy the session, though, right? I apologize that I killed your backstory NPC, but
We can get him back.
To be fair, I
Yeah.
killed them.
If you would have after the battle, like used Revivify on them, they would have been pissed. But
The funniest thing is also, like, they could have just stayed unconscious until the end of the battle, then killed.
you like they were dropped, and then fucking everyone was like murder.
Just like, well, to be fair, I didn't want the thought of, okay, now they're back up again.
Yeah, no, they I wasn't gonna make them get back up unless there's a really good reason for it. Because they took a fireball to the, like, it
Fireball
exploded.
slices.
Like, basically, they were holding the fireball bead, like, it was hovering above their finger in front of them. Zach ran up and stabbed them, so they just pointed forward and shot directly into Zach's chest. And Zach was spear length away. Like, that spear was inside the torso. And so that fireball exploded within 4 feet, this 20-foot radius, and launched the fucking Boneweaver Shundell backwards, and ass over tea kettle flipped onto the ground bleeding everywhere. And it's just like, yeah, no, they ain't recovering from that one nicely. Like, I would have them start with a failed death save. But no worries, everyone fucking walked up and had their 2 cents on his corpse.
Okay, to be...
Hey, I
it
didn't.
wasn't everyone.
No, it's not everyone, but
I'm
they,
just saying,
they
like,
were shot
like
4 times.
I shot 4 times.
Alright.
28 stab wounds.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's basically the mayor.
That's what Dante looks like right now because of how raked up his body is
Oh my
from that
God.
fucking dog.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
Like,
He
everyone
looks
else is
worse
just
for
minding their own
wear.
business while Demare is standing over his corpse, making sure he's dead.
I hit. I went down to 2 HP twice.
Of all
But
people,
thankfully-
you gotta make sure Necromancer's-
Yeah, that's how
Alright.
much damage I
Everybody-
fucking tanked.
Hi, baby, love you.
Good
Alright.
night.
Shane, how'd you feel about session? Questions, comments, concerns?
I had a good time. It was a good fight with dog.
Mhm.
I did what I came to do, which
Like-
is slash and punch, rip and tear.
Mhm.
Ate the
I-
heart of another large creature or huge creature. So I've eaten the heart of a large creature and now a huge creature.
I like the battle was so intense and like at each other's throat that there were some other abilities that I was looking at and I'm like, no, not right now. Now is not the right opportunity. Like there's one of like a 15-foot pounce that could have been used to just fucking annihilate Nicholas, and I'm like, no. Target
Right now,
is
right
target's
now
not
it
there.
is. Right now it's 2 predators going at
Mhm.
it, like
Yeah.
asserting dominance and roaring at each other.
But yeah, no, like, if I would have done the 15-foot electro pounce, that would not have been good. It was straight up a, like, regenerating ability where after I use it, every round I would have to roll a d6 to see if I got it back. That, like, it probably would have flat killed Greet, downed Peck, done a fuck ton of damage to Sandra,
would've
horribly
killed,
injured Nicholas.
Yeah, you would
Yeah.
you'd have murderated poor Nick.
hmm By the way, I checked everyone's HP, and I'm not entirely certain if I was just not seeing if like Hunter was updating on a different token
Nope.
or something.
Nope.
Uh,
I did not
yeah,
take any damage for most of this fight. I only
Y-
started
yeah.
taking damage when I started going after the archers.
like I'm not gonna lie, I was monitoring everyone's HP, and everyone was freaking the fuck out, and I'm like, Zach hasn't been touched, Demare has been lightly touched, Dante's been fucked, Nicholas is like, maybe missing 10 HP most, Sandra's untouched, like, the fuck are you going on about? Nearly dying? Like, bitch, the battle hasn't even fucking started, we're on round 2.
A bit worried because the skeletons are immune to piercing damage.
Personally, my only thought was on the action economy of, oh shit.
Sandra's concerns are definitely
This fight
different.
opened with one of our guys going down, and I kind of had to prioritize saving his ass.
Their ass.
Yep, I caught it right
The
as you
thing
said
that
it.
always gets me is Gree is biologically female, so you're wrong on so many points.
Gree does not sound like a girl's name. I think that's partly where I'm getting messed up.
Gree doesn't sound like a gender name at all. It
Gree
sounds like it could
is
be a
annoying.
boy or a
It's-
girl.
It's the
sounds
most
like-
non-binary name ever.
Yeah,
Gree is
very
literally
non-binary.
French for gray.
I'm sorry that I keep screwing it up.
Which, by the way, there is a game named Gree, and its fucking, like, logo is a woman's face.
Little did I know.
So,
It's just
Yeah,
not. It's
fun
just taking.
Yeah, I was
It-
It's
I was
just
wondering if you were looking at our HP and saw
Absolutely.
how low I kept getting. I got down to
Uh,
2 twice.
yeah, I was looking at your HP, and I'm like, fine. Once
like,
the drops, the fucking cleric's gonna walk over,
I
rub the
know.
defender, go clear, and fucking everyone's gonna walk away, and you're gonna keep
Yeah.
going.
Like, I knew that, I knew that Nicholas, so long as I said something to make it clear that I am not okay, that he will come help me. I knew Eric would come help me if I made it clear that
Mhm.
Dante's not doing well. He's
Mhm.
he's getting to the point of, like, he's going to go unconscious. That if I
Mhm.
say something, that he will do his heals like he should. And
Mhm.
he'll take care of me and let me continue to fight while he stays behind cover. And gives me that sweet, sweet flanking with that bug.
Oh, by the way, that boss that I used in this dungeon was the boss that was in the Dwarven
no,
dungeon.
don't you? Oh God,
Yeah.
that's what I was afraid of.
Yep. So,
The
you
dungeon I haven't seen.
yes. If depending on how you like that boss solo would absolutely use its leap ability and fucking rip one of you to shreds. Like, the average damage on the leap attack, which is a refreshing attack, in phase 1, the average damage is 44, which is enough to immediately drop Zack at the level that you were at.
Rip
So-
Zack.
That would have dropped Sandra. Actually, no, that would have insta-killed her.
Insta-killed the mayor.
I feel like I'm the only one who wouldn't, because I'm the one with the HP of, what am I at, 75 or something now?
Yeah, like this boss was supposed to be scary, and it was one of those, like, here you are in a bad situation, fight your way out, and I allowed you to bring whomever you wanted, and what was their name? Throg, whatever.
Armor guy.
Yes, they were specifically going to request to not come after their friend died, and then Eric is like, "No, you're not coming. We're not gonna bring anyone." No, they brought Eric brought Sella, who heroically teleported the fuck out after almost dying.
But you know what? I don't blame them.
We're
yeah.
gonna have words about that.
That person that I had no
Can you really
loyalty
blame
to or
them?
expectations
It's gonna
of,
be a
really
forehead
disappointed
flick
there.
at most.
I mean, you can't really blame, like, Sella when they just had a near-death experience and are still in front of a ginormous dog. And this
It's-
was also pre-laser mode, I think.
It's gonna be a forehead flick at most. If I ever
Which at the
see
very
her
least, I
again.
was lucky that not only did, like, what made, like, it was still a challenging fight, but I got a little lucky in that the things that it had for its attacks were things I was already resistant to.
Mhm.
So I was able to properly tank it, and so it's like, I was concerned about, like, yeah, I might go unconscious, but I know Nicholas will get me, kind of thing, but it was still like he can only do so much without getting hurt as well. But I was able to, enjoy, like, the challengingness of the fight, of trying to take down this thing that much bigger than me.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was a fight. Anyway, so Shane, you enjoyed session? Questions, comments, concerns?
Nope, I'm content, and, already been said. I should
Mhm.
probably speak up more for the rest of the party if need be.
Mhm.
It's worth noting that
Especially because I have a better understanding of, RPGs.
me and B in particular have only been in one long-term campaign before this that got to a level near this. This is Hunter's first game. This is Eric's first game. Both long-lasting. We're all still pretty new, all things considered.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which,
and I'm more than happy to help, and I already said in there that part of the reason
Just
why I
please.
was not as helpful this time was because I had to manage 3 people prior to session, so I wasn't even feeling up to the session to begin with
Mhm.
because
trying our best, just
I had
always
a
remember
lot of
that.
shit to go. I had to go
Yeah.
through a lot of shit today, and so I
So
was just not in the energy levels of trying to manage the party.
yeah, so I will state that like I, I will get you in bad situations, but this is how you're gonna learn. You know, next time you're in a situation and you see a bunch of archers lined up ready to take pot shots at your group,
I
what
will
are you probably gonna
gladly
do?
switch arrangement mode. Because this is probably the first time I've really been in a scenario like this that I can remember.
Mom,
Everything
my
else has
friends
just been
keep
like
picking
swarms of
on me.
melee. So it's just like, oh, why didn't you kill the ranged ones? This is my first time, bro. The
Yep.
mayor canonically has done this probably a million times, but I haven't.
Yeah, so like it
Yeah,
very
it's cool.
much I wasn't planning on killing any party members, and I didn't drop any of you. Like, your NPCs, I fucking could have easily just wiped them from the face of the earth, and it's like, ah, well, maybe you should have fucking been more careful about that one. Broke your toy there, didn't you, champ?
I mean, to be fair, you literally broke both my toys.
Yeah, but your toys are so easily replaceable.
Yeah, but it's also awful because I lose an action on my very finite turns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or whenever Gizmo goes down, it's just down until the combat's over and I can cast Mending. That takes 1 minute. That's 6
Mhm.
turns. Or no, 10 turns.
Mm-hmm. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
But anyway, so yeah, like, I didn't... As I kind of mentioned earlier, if Octi were running this game, your characters would have been dead 3 times over. I, on the other hand, don't do that. I monitor the situation carefully, and like I know your guys' power level.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real, Steve. That just sounds like you're more accommodating.
Mhm. Oh,
Well,
exactly.
the thing is,
Yeah, sure. It's
well,
like saying,
as-
"Oh, if you went against a tournament player in a fighting game, you'd be dead." It's like, yeah, no shit. We're new. We barely know anything. We don't
Mhm.
know.
well, the thing is,
optimal.
plus Octi, he is more understanding nowadays than you might think because of me specifically, because I know he's a very brutal DM. I got him to calm down with that and was talking, and I already had talked to him like, yo, if you ever DM a game again, like, be aware of the people and whether or not they actually deserve the treatment or not, or if it's them just failing to understand what they're doing and they don't know how to do it right. Like
Again, learning.
I've talked with him, so he's a lot more lenient, but otherwise we most likely would have had 1 or 2 player deaths from this session because he might have gotten frustrated with the lack of doing something, but he would be able to help out with like, oh, if the player characters died, maybe swing some things around to make it easy to resurrect them or some shit
Mhm.
like that. Like he'll be reasonable, but he's a lot more of a brutal like type of, it's kind of like you have the parent that's more gentle parenting, and then you have the parent that just throws you in the deep end. He's more a throws you in the deep end kind of person, because that's just kind of the
Which can be
household he
kind of
grew up
upsetting
in, so that's who he
because
is
a
as a
lot of times
person.
it's like we never have a chance to even learn that's what you're supposed to do. It's just like, damn, well, you didn't know this thing that you never had a chance to really figure out. Damn, cope.
Yeah, and I get on
And
his
like, that's
ass
not
about
exactly
him
something to
being
brag
like,
about as a good thing. Maybe if that's the
oh yeah,
situation we want, it's fine. But like,
it's one of those
even if
things
it's the
where
norm, I don't think it should be the norm. That sounds awful and discouraging.
yeah, it really is, and that's why I appreciate Steve's way of DMing, and it would be the same way I would DM, in that I would be a lot more of, okay, we don't want this player to die, and they're downed. have the enemy refocus on somebody else because the thing is down. I don't have to worry about it anymore. So monster brain gonna go attack things still standing up. Like things to make it so it makes it like go a bit easier and to ease people into things that they maybe haven't done before. Shit like that. But Steve is more than willing to be just as brutal if it's people who know what the fuck they're doing and are being shitheads, like when there was the party versus party murder fest and shit like that, which God, I'm sad I couldn't have been a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been amazing if they broke that water ceiling, because then
Oh
they
my
would have had
God.
to, because then they would all be trying to not drown while dealing with someone who can swim and breathe underwater, literally ripping and tearing the throats out while they're drowning.
I
And that would
like
have been amazing.
that fucking story of like me waiting to bring in another party to murder my like I had a party online and a party in person, and I was gonna put each tokens on put the different tokens on each of the boards to mirror each other, and they were going to fight it out. Before we were able to even get to that point, I put them in this large arena. It was a circular room that descended downward, and there's, like a fucking rug with a crest in the center of it that was old and indecipherable. 4 pillars raised to the ceiling, and the, like, top of the dome was cut off early so that it could be the underside of a lake that you could see the moonlight through, and there was, fish, yada yada. And they see, like, this glass ceiling, and, like the gamers they are, their first instinct was, we need to break the glass ceiling.
Yeah, in the worst way possible. And, like, even Casey was saying he was sad because he's like, I wish you were there and I wish they broke that ceiling. I don't even care if the rest of us died. I'd love to see the scene play out in everybody's head of this just literal murderish, like, undying shark going ham on an entire party and finishing them off.
Anyway, as Hunter said, hey Vriska, how'd you feel about session?
There's one thing in particular I thought about was the fact that on occasion, whenever it was my turn, it felt like the turns just kind of moved along with no actual description, and that was kind of disappointing. Especially when I made my first attack on Boneweaver Chandel, and it was just like, cool, you did damage, and I joked to B about how I guess they're just kind of T-posing there and taking damage without anything happening.
Yeah, I absolutely acknowledge the fact that I was fucking up and, like, not doing that. And, everyone in the party is like, yeah, you gotta be the GM, right? And I'm like, fuck. And definitely, like, next time, call me out for not being descriptive, or, sometimes I was trying to, like, keep things moving along fast, and then I want
to keep things moving, but it's like, I'm attacking the big boss guy. I gotta have him at least get annoyed at me. He's the one that can talk.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, he more or less had, like, accepted his fate, and one of the things was
actually note though, just like he doesn't.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, it kind of that thing of it was anticlimactic. Like, I should have notated that to make it be as such. Because, like, fucking duking it out with this big fucking dog, they're going at it. But, like, Boneweaver Chandel is just fucking floating there in the air. And it was kind of one of those things of, like, you were the last of the player turns. And, like, I kind of feel really bad because you were just so fucking on top of it. Like, came to your turn, you did this, this, and this. All of your characters done. Wrapped up with a bow. Everyone before that was like,
I always
here's my thing.
Turn order.
Like, you need to take the feat where you go at the beginning. Like, I don't remember what the fucking feat is, but you get like a +5 on initiative or something. Like,
damn.
It's funny, I have a advantage on fucking initiative,
Same.
yet I've been rolling really low.
Also, one last thing. Seriously, most of us in the party are just, we're doing our best. It's our first thing. I get that for you guys, it's obvious all the things we're failing at, but we really are trying, and 2 out of
Mm-hmm.
the party members are extremely insecure, and saying this stuff kind of gets to them. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, I get it, I really do. We do want to do better, and probably should be
Mm-hmm.
doing better, but we're doing our best.
Yeah,
No,
I swear.
that's why I'm not focusing it on anyone other than Hunter, because Hunter should know better. I don't expect you
My
guys
friends are
to.
picking on
Hunter
me.
should. Exactly. Hunter, I am going to pick on you. You're focusing more on getting on Dante's dicks than you are on how to be an archer, which you've been for a long time.
Okay, this had
So
nothing to
we
do
need
with...
to get that.
This one had nothing to do with Sandra's Dante fetish.
You kind of did do it, though. We called you out on it, too.
That was a joke.
But still, like, you, I expect more from. The others, I do not. Especially not Eric, because I know Eric will just kind of follow what people tell him to do. And I feel bad that he doesn't have more things that he gets to do on his own and decide what he wants to do. And it's just, if people are shouting, do the thing, he's going to do it. He's not one for confrontation or to be like, no, I'm going to do this. He doesn't stand up for himself. That's why I would never put Eric at fault for anything.
Which is...
I don't expect him to.
Which is the opposite.
Anyway, I
of what
gotta
happened
tell my
with me.
Kismis good night, so bye, losers.
Bye.
Later.
Anyway, as you were saying, Hunter?
Yeah, like 5 times I got messaged by B to do something about, Gree. Like, can you shove a healing potion in Gree's mouth? And I'm like, yeah, probably. I'm kind of busy. I have a lot on my mind, alright? I'm surrounded by skeletons. You're asking me to do this thing. There's a giant wolf thing, and there are archers raining down arrows at us. Alright? I got 15 things to do. I only have 2 attacks, and I need to prioritize.
Yeah, he was throwing out suggestions of greater priority than attempting to shoot Wolfie. Can
Gree
I
was
ask?
fucking stabilized, alright?
You could have had more firepower. Action economy. Gree has 2 Eldritch Blasts.
And I'm surrounded by skeletons that can hit for like 20, apparently.
I think it was 2d4 plus 1d6 plus 3.
That's a lot.
So I will ask, because I'm genuinely curious, why did you not do sharpshooter?
On who?
The entire session.
Because I don't like the -5.
It's plus 10 damage.
It is plus 10 damage, but it's a lower chance to hit.
Like, what is your...
It's a risk worth taking.
So, you have a +1 bow, and +1 arrows, a +3 dexterity modifier, and I'm fairly certain your proficiency bonus is +3.
Because, okay, hang on. Let me do the math for you.
So, you're going from a +8 to a +3, and average is 10. So, for the archers, their armor class was between 11 and 12. So you had to roll a 9 or higher.
That's just great.
That's-
How was I supposed to know that, though?
That's one thing we can tell you now if you're not aware. Generally, in games as a whole, you can know which characters are going to be beefy and which ones are not going to be as beefy. Obviously, way more beefy is going to be expected. The ones that are fighters, melee, they have to be beefy. They're up and close. But anyone who is ranged is usually, and almost like it's like 99% of the time, have a way lower armor class or way worse armor than those guys, because they're not up close and personal. They're not right there in front of the enemy. So they will have a lot less armor on, or less effective armor, kind of like how in games, mages are glass cannons, where they are powerful with their spells and shit, but they literally just wear a robe, so if they so much as get cleaved by one fucking sword, they're dead. Like, it's to be expected that they are going to have a lower armor class because of what they are, which is archers. And they are far away on a high platform. They don't expect anyone to be able to get up to them to fucking, like, hit them and shit like that. So at most, they would have, like, leather armor.
Mhm.
In, like, most cases. And that'll go for any and all archers. I mean, look at you. You're an archer. You wear
You
leather
wear
armor
leather.
because that is the only armor really that you can wear, because anything more would be detrimental to you being a ranger. Same would go for, spellcasters. It's usually detrimental for them to be having heavy burdens on them, like heavier armor.
Yeah,
I happen to be
also,
I happen to be a fucking weirdo in that I'm a tank class that does not wear armor, but that is because of a personal choice and being a barbarian.
barbarian with bracers of armor. Anyway, so the archers and ballista users, those were trash mobs. They exist to be quickly killed, but if not killed, they will annoy you the entire fight until they are dealt with, which includes after the fight when you've killed the big bad and you haven't dealt with them yet. The like once you turned towards them and started lighting them up, it didn't take long to put them down.
Yeah, and I got backed into a corner, like, by turn 2.
Yeah,
I dragged the
because
unconscious party member over to the cleric, and then got cornered by skeletons.
that immediately stopped reacting, and you proceeded to sit there for another 3 turns when you have Zephyr Strike,
They didn't.
which allows you to run.
They didn't stop reacting like until like turn 4 or 5.
Regardless, you had Zephyr Strike. Did you expect them to chase you across the entire arena?
Yes. I honestly
Well,
did.
Why would they
Then-
do that when there was so much in between that? The minute you run past one of us, mainly being me, they are not going to look at you anymore. They're looking at Nicholas. They are looking at me. They're looking at Sella. They are looking at the motherfuckers right in front of them that they can get to, not the person who just ran at fucking Mach speeds across the room. They're like, okay, that
even-
fucker's gone. Let's go to the next one. That's
even if
what,
you
that's like
did,
monster brain.
if you did run it all the way across the room, they'd have to double move to get back over to you. And you know what you do? You fucking turn around and run the other direction, like you always do. You've done that so many times as a legitimate strategy, and this time you decided it wasn't going to work. Like, drawing
Like,
aggro?
don't be unwilling to put some of us, if we can take it, in harm's way, especially if it's me. By all means, let something focus on me, just to get your own ass in a better position to do something else that you need to do. Like, if like you bolting across the room is gonna make them focus on me, so be it. I'll take
Like,
it.
You almost
you-
went down twice.
Yeah, that's fine. I had
Done.
Nicholas.
Like,
My job is to be like this.
your like the party's fear of 3 creatures, the 2 were-skeletons and the big beefy monster, allowed 8 separate attacks to continue happening every round. And it pinned everyone into hiding positions, which slowly started being whittled away. And you very much, if you would have taken care of them, would have had free reign of the entire room. And I'm not just pinning this on you, as Zach surprisingly also didn't do shit.
I was really shocked. He usually is always just going. Anyways, I started
They-
blasting. You know what I mean?
They are the DPS. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, the like casting fucking Hunger of Hadar in the cage. Great, amazing, excellent. The fucking not going yippee-ki-yay Eldritch Blast and shooting all of them down the line, like,
That's what B usually does, and it really
Yeah.
surprised me. Like
Well,
that
like-
he chose to not have Zach do that this time.
It like I also Demare. I expected Demare to be trying to use like the parry ability, and I'm like, oh, that's why they're getting up here and trying to do this, and then Demare didn't, and I was just like really confused. Like when the vampire spawn ran over to Demare and is just like, haha, attacking you. I fucking expected Demare to blow the thing's head off. I was so fucking lost. It's like, this is it. This is what you wanted to do. What? Why? Huh? What?
It was big confuse.
Yeah, there were so many weird choices that occurred that just led to a massive clusterfuck that I was sitting there watching, and that's when fucking Boneweaver Shundell floated over to Zach and was just like, your party's not that great. The whole in-game acknowledging that there is a problem, and I honestly kind of expected Zach to like start trying to convince the Bone Weaver of something, and like when the idea of like, hey, do you want to work together and like leave and turn over your army and yada yada, I started to be like, wait, is the party actually gonna like give up?
Oh fuck no.
Because technically this is Dungeons and Dragons. That is an option. You could have just fucked off. Even just like lying and saying that you're going to work with the Illithid to leave that situation and then attack it from a different direction, like, absolutely an option. But it very much, I hope everyone picked up on the, like, when you're re-going through the dungeon, the whole, if you don't put your face into danger usually doesn't hit you with a bat. And, like, of the main things that caused problems and caused, like, the HP loss, like, Dante getting hit with the black pudding and then the party slashing the black pudding into different black puddings, like, that was a big one in the first room. The second room was you attacked one of the zombies, which the zombies were back, and the were-skeletons were there. You're just like, ha, not falling for this trick twice, and the jar of beans wasn't there. So Demare couldn't pick out a fireball bean and blow it up against the wall. So, massive sources of HP loss. I really think the were-skeleton just kind of fucking botched it the first time. To be honest, if I recall correctly, like, they weren't that big of a problem.
Well, got grabbed by an alligator pretty much immediately.
Yeah, and, like, there's the fucking zombie that attempted to shamble over, and it fucking just fell into the water and could not get out. And then, the blood room was just a big, spooky, scary room that, if you fucked around in for too long, the blood elementals would show up. And those things are not fun. They're like water elementals, but they also shoot blood crystalline spears. So, yeah. But...
So is there any way to get that guy back?
Which guy?
Yes, we can revive him. It's just we have to find somebody who can. We have to find somebody who can perform a spell like that.
Boneweaver Shundell?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's just gonna take time. We have to find a motherfucker who can, kind of thing,
Yeah.
and it's gonna cost more. But we have the money. It's about finding person that can, bring him back for us. Hence why I made sure to make it clear, like, don't worry, guys. I will carry him. We'll take him with us. Like, He will be something I will drag around with me.
Yeah, I will point out that the whole the soul must be willing type thing, where
They can't come back unless they want to. You can try to bring them back, but if they say no, then they can't come back.
yeah, so with the shenanigan fest that happened, and the disrespect
no.
for the body, yeah, there's a chance that Boneweaver Shandala is just gonna say no, fuck you guys, and
Very possible, and that's what I was worried about because I
Mhm.
knew we were going to get to that point where we would have to see if he was willing to come back.
Yeah, it like the right away of like, let's cast Revivify. Like during the Revivify, the creature is gonna clamber out of his head. You would have stabbed it, fucking, oh hey, look, that's why he was acting so weird and didn't want to yada yada. But the like, it was kind of handed to you right from the beginning, and then didn't. But yeah, it's like I said, it was just an optional thing. The
Definitely wish we did, though. I wanted it to happen, but just kind of didn't.
yeah, there's a lot of like insider information. He would have been able to tell you about the devices, give you all the cool loot that's in his hidden magical laboratory, shit like that. So
And I really wanted to focus on it because I know we've been doing a lot of it. I wanted to focus on doing no metagaming, so I knew I couldn't say anything.
yeah.
But I really wanted to see him be brought back.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's a fun backstory character, so of course it would have been fun to have him brought back.
Plus, I'm accustomed to having at least one, NPC friend character in our arsenal that talks like that in all of the campaigns I've been in with you, Steve.
Yeah.
I can't be without the guy that's constantly talking like this.
Hey, it's me, Dan the Wizard Man. I'm here to be your friend.
Like the one with the demon waifu.
Yeah,
and
that's Dan the
everything.
Wizard Man.
Yeah, I fucking loved him.
He had a super fucking complex name, and then you could just call him Dan. And I can't remember what his fucking waifu was called, but
A demon waifu that just was like, alright.
yeah, like the whole, he very obviously, like, she was stuck in a dominated type situation, but he was too awkward to like really order her to do anything, so she just kind of keeps doing her own thing and helps him with this and that, and just thinks he's like kind of cute in that, like, aw, you're too innocent.
Like, you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm. The
You're
whole
an idiot
like,
and you think I'm hot.
yeah, the whole, man, he really wants to fuck me, but he will absolutely never say it because he's too awkward. All he needs to do is ask, and I legitimately can't say no because of the dominated. But, like, fucking, he won't. He never will. Absolutely not. If he does, she will. But, fucking, he's not going to. So it's just funny.
Exactly.
If you guys
What?
don't mind, I'd like to wrap this up, actually. We just hit an hour.
Yeah.
I have to
Anyway.
bathe and get to bed.
Yep, I want a snack and also to get to bed.
Yeah.
So, have a good night, everyone. Great playing with you. Hopefully you enjoyed the session, Hunter.
Stop yelling at me.
No.
I'm very tired, okay? My brain isn't 100% functional right now. We'll do better next time.
That's fine. I said I hope you enjoyed the session. So
And like I said, I'm gonna be getting better about helping you guys out in telling you, hey guys, thing needs to happen.
yeah, if Sella was still there, she probably would have started like yelling commands because she's an experienced adventurer, but she fucking needed to outie.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
We'll
Yeah.
We'll deal with that at a later date.